They say that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Well, I've never been accused of being the smartest person in the room, but I do try to surround myself with people that I think are smarter than me or have more experience than me or have more value to offer than I do, and I want to learn from them as much as possible. So one of the questions I've been getting a lot lately is about laser rangefinders. Binos versus weapon mounted, which would you choose? And if you had to pick one, which would it be and why? I decided to reach out to somebody who has more experience than I do with both, and that is Ryder. Now, he's been using laser rangefinders and binos and a weapon mounted laser rangefinder, both in competition and in training for a couple years now, and he has some pretty good input on it. So I said, hey, would you mind just sharing the things you've learned along the way? What would you choose and why? So here is Ryder.
Today, we're out here taking a class, Joe Dawson, Bruiser Industry, and one of the other students asked me, how do I like the Mars? I said, it's great. He said, should I get one? I said, well, do you have range-finding binos? And his response was no. I said, well, I would suggest getting a good set of range-finding binos before you go and get a weapon-mounted laser rangefinder. And part of that is that you don't always have the ability to point your rifle at what you want to range, stuff like that. Also, you have both of your eyes looking through here as you hit the button, so you can see the reticle and the response that you're given while you're looking at the target. Some of the rangefinders on here, you're going to be looking through the objective lens of the scope, so you don't necessarily know when you get a range back on here, except for the Envision Mars and maybe some other ones I don't know about. But when you hit the range button, it'll give you a vibrate to let you know that you got a range. If you hit it twice, if you get 2 vibrates, then you didn't get any type of response. So that's one reason I think that the binoculars are more important than this to start with. The other reason is that it's less fatigue on your eye when you're trying to glass and scan for stuff like that. So if I think these are more important, why do I have this? Well, there's sometimes you build a position, say I built this position to shoot off of, and I got a bad range when I was ranging my binocular, something was in the way, just something happened, I got bad data. So last season it happened to me, there was 4 coyotes going up a troop line kind of thing, and I hit the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, a shot, saw nothing, it was skyline, assume it went past it, and I immediately knew something was off. Well, I'm in this position, I don't have time to reach for my binos, you know, get up like this. What I can do is just dial this down to 0 real quick, get on the glass, hit the range button, and if it makes sense, like if it's close to what all the other ones were, like if it jives, hit the range, shoot it, you know. And I saved probably 20 or 30 seconds by not having to go back, get my binos, you know, either range off of this, which wouldn't be stable, or put another bag. You know, I could take another bag and do this, but that's still more time than it is to just get down here, dial to 0 and range real quick. So that's my why between binos and weapon mounted. Buy binos first. This is I call it an insurance policy. It's in case I mess something else up beforehand. I would not shoot an NRL Hunter match just with this, because as I'm trying to find all those targets, my eyes are going to get fatigued. My left eye is not going to be looking through the glass kind of thing. Whereas with a good set of binos, you know, you can just sit there and scan. So, yep.
What's the reason for dialing back to 0?
So the reason you want to dial to 0, or there's 2 ways to do it. So I dial back to 0 because that's where I have the laser. It's a co-witness, whatever you want to call it. It's zeroed with the rifle scope at 0. Some people will do it differently, where they might, if they're going to dial predominantly, they may, you know, do it with at 3, so that way if they need to go down, they don't have to go all the way back to 0 kind of thing. So it's just a matter of knowing where your gun is set at. And so if I don't do this, and I would say I'm not experienced enough, I haven't messed with it enough, but some people will also be able to just do the simple math. So say you have 3 dialed on, well, now you know you need to hold 3 under for what you're going to laze kind of thing. But to keep it simple, and I hate numbers and I'm bad at numbers, I just go back to 0 real quick. Thankfully, Loophole has the locking cap there. I just push the button and I can go back to where I was. If I need to get back to 0 real quick, I just spin it till it locks.
Thank you to Ryder for sharing a little bit of his knowledge with us. Be sure to follow him on Instagram and on YouTube. If you have questions for him, if there's some topics you'd like to see him cover in regards to NRL Hunter, in regards to gear, or just in life in general, leave it in the comments down below. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.